It is a building that first hosted football way back in 1966 as EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Jets and the Oakland Raiders. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Come on, set. 15, run. 15, run. He's coming. We got double up. Christian, Travis. Get it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Second and 15. Able to get away. And he's going to go down again. Maurice Hurst in there to drop him at sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a third and long.
Hey, Steve 6.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up first and 10 at their own 46. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3. On second down now, it's Jackson, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Now a give right side. It's Allen looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6.
It's third down and 6.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't as long as they're not listening to the...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Blue draw Corkers.
They run on first down with Jackson. And he's got some space here. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great play there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Got it.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Situation. Let's go. Protein spill. Ready.
2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. Past the 20. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A big play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot in the end zone and made it pay off.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because...
That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for the Raiders. 61 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll run on first down. Jackson. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
Here we go, here we go. 15, Ronnie. 15 line. Pilot, 64, weak. Shoot.
On second down, this is Jackson. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Back to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs, because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of routing, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Let's go.
26-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 27-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go. Let's go.
2nd and 9 now. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Down. 90 Wolf. 55. And let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. Yep. Mercy. 55.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, it's complete. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at their 48-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line.
Go! Here we go again. Here we go again. Check right. Get it.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Topper! 55, come on. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Ready?
Bell. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. The Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
218, chop it.
Now a give, right side. It's Jackson, and that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
High 7.
2nd and 11. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first.
How about that run? Picks up a 1st down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now Jackson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And his kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Let's go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter knows.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 47 yards.
Go.
Mike's 4-2. Mike's 4-2.
Hey, exit.
Screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Get it.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Now. Smooth. Ready.
Second and long. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Eluding the pressure right. Open man is Anderson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, we're out of time to change things. Dancing to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Toss play to Jackson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd and 3. This will be caught by Brown. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Jackson. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 29-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Yo.
Now a give right side. It's Jackson trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. They'll run with Jackson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And his kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock. Everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25.
Here we go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. So we come upon halftime with 9 games. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A good game there on 1st down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They run again with Jackson, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Watch 20.
Yes.
They'll run on 1st down. Jackson. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, wahoo!
Mike 59.
Second and 13. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
He'll drop to throw. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
General West.
Right there. 54 Mike. Hey, watch the left.
Five.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run again with Jackson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Check. 59. Hey, watch the slant.
Ready.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking deep downfield. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
X3, 218, chopper. Yep.
Banjo. Mike's 42.
5.
Here's a 2nd and 7. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
With it is Brown. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a carry for Allen. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, it's Jackson. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be... And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A toss running left. Jackson. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career, and Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A good job defensively there on Gurley as they hold him to only a yard. It's 2nd down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 11. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready up.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They run. It's Gurley. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Jets on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw here. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jackson, and he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
On the ready.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Speed grip.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2 that keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds. So unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the carry, it's Jackson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
80 weapon. Yo, faster. Ready.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jackson. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here goes that 10 logo. Hey, foxtrot. Now.
They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, he's got Bolitnikov. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
I got one. Let's go, baby.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Oakland, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Tell the wrist I was never